English lesson here, but English lesson here. Renate is really R-E-N-A-T-E N-A-T-E R-E-N-A-T-E yeah. Renate boy. Kya ba boy? Kya? Kya hoga? तो दिया सकते हैं से नहीं जा के जाओ नहीं मैं तो आओ खामो पेमो वो माने ये Senzaje Senzamu Atamya Tumho Sai Lusha Mumya Kedo Tumomya Di Joe Tau no Kandre, people Lavadi. The Catholic Adiga ayam go mane ye yin de bo mya bo la bi chak kwe ta to di mya ko ti ni ba diအဲ့လိုပြောရထင်ပါတယ်တိုးတော်လေးအခြားအချိန်များတွေဒီမှာအခြားအချိန်များတွေဥပမာအားဖြင့်ဒေါသထမှုကိုပေါ်စားကမမှတ်ခဲ့ရင် Any the bomia for more other Navadi. $2 totally be a seed, be a card. Mayamu take Amya arm counter. Mayamu alone, arm counter. Adiga Ayungo Manai Badi. Yingedo, Jotao, Naka Mashida, not the way she was. She dog, Kilita. Matanzia Mingedo Maya Banini Patama Megoman, Lydia Megoshipa. The chain. Can you Makaya? How much money? How much a doja might be money. How much alone thing will Lavi the Catholic Jalgava. Say these. Young Connect alone, they say, being named Musibani. Alone, very powerful. They say, named their body, Toto, no Jajashi body. Alone, no Jajashi body. Nali Yoje, Traitor, the do it watching Navo, Sikati Nemati. The do it, and the Navo Sikati Nemati. The Chema. Safety. Naye, Chui, the do it table, window loaded one. Window loop, ဝင်လို့စီစိတ်တွေ့ပါလိမ့်ဝင်တော့မလို့ခင်ဗျာခံစားမှုများအလုံးတင်ဝဲပါသို့တော့ဒီတတ်ပါမှတ်တိုင်းမှတ်တိုင်းမှတ်ခြင်းဒီမိုးကြိုပစ်လို့ဒီမှာမိုးကြိုပစ်လို့အသာအလုံးကျင်းလာပါလိမိုးကြိုပစ်လို့မတဆရာကအတိစိတ်ဟုခေါ်ပါလိမ့်
အတိစိတ်ပါလို့
ဒီအဒီမှာရဒီအချင်းရဒီနေ့တော့
ပြောပါဘူး
ပြောပါဒီအချင်းရသည်မိကဲ့သို့အတိပ္ပယ်ရှိပြီးမိကဲ့သို့မှားရမည်ကိုရှင်းပြပေးပါရToday we have 2 questions from Renate who has gone back, and Sarah said both of these questions are very, very long. I'll read out the question. The first question: while observing the rising falling, there appear in the background phenomena such as thoughts, sounds, or emotions. Sometimes I am simply aware of the arising and passing away while I observe the primary object. But at other times, they get stronger when I don't put my attention to them in the beginning. For example, anger. But at this stage, I can still observe the primary object, though mindfulness is not too strong. Could you please say how I should note so that kilesas which first stay in the background are not getting stronger? Second question: in one sitting, having noted rising falling for quite some time, the rising falling became very subtle and at times disappeared. The mind became suddenly very silent and calm, but very alert. The mind got aware of the snot, sweat, saliva, and at some point felt like almost entering into the snot, sweat, etc. The sensations were very subtle but clear in their detail. Every time I noted, the note sounded very loud like thunder. The teacher called this knowing mind. Could you please say more to what this means and how to note within this experience?
ဖို့အတန်ကြာဖို့သို့မဟုတ်သိလို့ရှားဖို့မျိုးလိုသဘောရတာကြားကြမှာပေါ်တယ်သူကလည်းကျောတော့လည်းဆန်းတယ်ကြားကြပေါ်တာအာယုဆိုတာစိတ်ဆိုတာနာမည်နော်ဒီလိုပဲကြားကြအာယုကိုယူပြီးတော့ဒီလိုသိတာကိုလည်းမသိတာဖြစ်တယ်ပြုနေအတန်လေးတွေဒီလိုကြားလာတယ်ဒီလိုသိကိုစားပြီးဒီလိုလည်းဖြစ်တယ်သူကအာယုရှိလို့ပြည့်တယ်ဒီလိုလိုသူတို့ကိုမရှိရတဲ့နေရာဖြစ်သွားတာလည်းရှိတယ်ဒါကလည်းလူသားတွေရှိနေတယ်ဒီလိုလည်းဖြစ်တယ်ဒီပေါ်လာတဲ့အာရုံသူ့ရှိပါတယ်ဒီလိုလိုကြည့်ပါလေဆိုရင်ဒါလည်းကောင်းတာပဲဒါကရှိလိုက်ပါလို့ဖြစ်တယ်ဆက်ပိုက်မှာပြီးတာလည်းဖြစ်တယ်ဒီလိုရှိမှဒီအကောင်းလာတဲ့ဒီဆိုင်ကျေဝတယ်ဒီသမာဓိဒီကျေကျန်ဒီသတ္တဒီကျေရဒီကျေရဒီဆိုတာဒီနေ့အားဖြင့်ရှိနေရဒီနေ့အားဖြင့်ဒီမှာဒီရှိနေဒီရတဲ့ကြားကြဝင်လာတဲ့ဒီအားဖြင့်ဒီရှိရတယ်ဒီလိုတန်းနေတော့ဒီကျေကျန်နေတော့ဒီလို
To answer the first question, this sort of experience can be gained by the yogis. While noting the primary objects such as rising, falling, and in between noting them, other objects may come up, such as thoughts, sounds, emotion. Because the mind is so quick, so swift, in between noting, other objects can enter. Now in this question, it mentions in the background. Actually, it should be in between noting, not the background. Sometimes what happens is, without the yogi knowing, he can be putting his mind on other objects apart from what he was noting, and he can be experiencing the phenomena such as thoughts, sounds or emotion in between noting a particular object. Sometimes the primary objects may be still clear, and this sort of thoughts, sounds or emotions can come in between. Sometimes the primary objects may not be so clear. So in that respect, the yogi may have to switch to note the other objects that appear in between. Now, when you are knowing other objects by noting the primary objects, it is well and good, because you come to know about the other objects without having to know them. But this will not happen for the beginner yogis. Only when concentration is strong, and only when mindfulness is strong, the yogis can experience, they can realize, they can know about the other objects while noting the primary object. When the concentration becomes strong, when mindfulness becomes strong, the seeing of the yogi becomes very strong, and also the seeing becomes spread. Now what it means by spread is, while noting a particular object, a particular yogi may come to know about the other objects without having to note the other objects. When our mind is on a particular object, we can be experiencing the other objects in our surroundings. Let us have a simile here. It happens because of the quickness of the mind. The original object where our mind was does not obliterate, but we are being aware of the surrounding objects. Similarly, with respect to this, is let us say we go to a theater. On the stage, the actresses may be dancing, may be acting. So we see this with the eyes. And what happened is, there is music from the orchestra we hear. And then we may get a nice smell, odor from someone else. And then we may be sitting on a soft cushion, so we have a nice touch. So while we are at the theater, we think we experience all these five senses at the same time. Actually, it is not true. We think this happened because of the very swiftness of the mind. The mind is very, very quick, very swift. Actually, what happened is, there is, at a particular moment, there is one noting mind and one particular object. So, at one particular moment, we can be knowing only one object. But when we go to the theater, we think we experience all these five senses at the same time, because the mind is very quick. What happens here is, the mind takes interest on an object, and we are attracted by one object. When these two happen, when we go to a theater, for example, our mind will be on a sense which attracts you more, or our mind will be on one sense because of your interest on this particular sense. And while we are looking at the actresses, we are still seeing them, but we hear the sound of the music, we smell nice fragrance, and we have a nice soft touch with the cushion where we are sitting on. Now, if this kind of things can happen in the worldly atmosphere, when you come to meditate, you can be experiencing this kind of particular in a more profound way. For example, while noting the primary object, the primary object may be still clear. We can be aware of other objects. Now, Western people say other objects in the background, but it is not so. It is the objects that arise in between noting the primary object. This is what we say in Myanmar. Now, while noting the primary object, we can be aware of the other objects also. This sort of thing can happen while one is meditating. Sometimes we hear in between noting, sometimes thoughts came in between, and we can experience the arising and passing of this phenomenon.
那讲起来就是这样。
是的。
这些都在讲。ဒီမှာတော့အာယုံရဲ့ဆွဲအားကိုပြောတယ်။ဒါကလည်းအာဝိဇ္ဇာအင်းကြီးရဲ့စိတ်ဝင်စားတယ်စိတ်လို့ဒါကလည်းစိတ်လို့ရသွားတယ်။ဒါကလည်းအာယုံဆွဲအားကောင်းတယ်သွားတယ်။
So sometimes what happens is our mind will go to an object which has excessive attraction power. And sometimes our mind will go to an object on which we have interest. Manasikara, voice reflection. So this can be said as Manasikara, wise reflection.
တို့တော့အခြားအချိန်များဖြင့်ဘုရားအဖြစ်ဘုရားအားဖြင့်သောတာဆုံးကိုပေါ်လာတာရှိတယ်ဒီလိုတော့ဘောများပုံမှုအတ္တနာတာအခြားချိန်ကတစ်ခါတည်းဒီကြဒီကြဝင်ရှိတယ်ပြည့်စည်အလေးခါရင်းနဲ့ဒီကြနာစာရှိပြီးတော့ဒီအာယုသိချာသိချာချင်းလည်းငယ်မှလို့ဆိုဝရီပေါ်ရင်လည်းမှလို့ဆိုအဲ့မှာမြစ်ပြအာယုဒီပါရုံနဲ့ဆိုအပေါင်းနဲ့ပြောတာဖြစ်တယ်။နောက်အဲ့အာယုပေါ်မှာအသေးစိတ်ကိုဒီလုံးကြီးအပုတ်ကြီးတွေပြောလို့ရှိတယ်။ဒါလေးကိုအဲဒီလိုမျိုးဆိုနေနေတယ်ပြောတာသိကြလား။အဲဒီစိတ်တွေကိုအကြည့်တော့ကိလေသာစိတ်တွေဒီလိုဒါလည်းတော့စိတ်ကိုစိတ်ကိုလည်းမှလို့ရှိရင်စိတ်ညာဒီလည်းမှလို့ရှိရင်ဒီကြားရင်လည်းစာကြည့်ရတယ်ဒီလိုမှလည်းတတိယသံဃာလို့ဆိုရင်ဒီမှာတတိယသံဃာပါလို့သိနေတာတော်ရည်ဆိုပြီးသိတယ်တော်ရည်ဆိုပြီးသိနေတာဒီကြတယ်ဒါလည်းမှတ်လိုက်တယ်ဆိုပြီးသူကအားကုန်တယ်ဒါတော့သိရပါ
And then the question says, at other times they get stronger when I don't put my attention to them in the beginning, for example, anger. Now when we hear something, when we see something, when we touch something, if we do not note them at the moment of arising, they can become very stronger. Dosa can become as a whole. And then what happens is, we tend to look into details like hateful spots. When we look into the phenomena like this, dosa becomes prominent because there is no mindfulness. If there is no mindfulness, kilesa can come in, thoughts can arise, anger will become prominent. If the noting is late, there is no protection from mindfulness. Mindfulness will protect all of us. If noting is late, mindfulness will be late, so there will be no protection. Therefore, dosa will come up. Now, if we only note the phenomena at the moment of arising, this will not happen. If we do not note, for example, this anger at the moment of arising, they will become stronger. It is quite usual. If there is no mindfulness, kilesa will come in. The more you don't have mindfulness, the more kilesa will arise. The mindfulness is like a door or like a window in a building. It will protect the rain and the wind from entering the particular building. This mindfulness protects the mind from kilesa. Therefore, sati or mindfulness protect us. If there is not enough protection, kilesa will come in. Kilesa will not be suppressed. It will be moving. But on the other hand, if there is protection, we are safe from kilesa. What it means here is we will not be disturbed by the kilesa, and kilesa can be suppressed. Kilesa can become tranquil.
Don't
The last part of the question, could you please say how I should note so that kilesa, which first stay in the background, are not getting stronger? Sayadaw has just said, if we are noting properly, kilesa will not arise. So the answer is this, note properly. But it is not enough to have the mindfulness only. We must have certain kind of energy. This energy are twofold. The first kind is energy, mental energy we must have before practicing meditation. That is, we must understand the Satipatthana meditation. We must believe in Satipatthana meditation. We must have faith. We must put a value. And we must have desire to gain the goal when we practice Satipatthana meditation. This is before we start practicing. Once we start practicing in a practical manner, we must be determined so that we can note beginning from the primary object and other objects that arise. To have this kind of determination, we must aim our mind towards the object. We must push our mind towards the object. When this kind of effort arises, it is like we are not accepting the kilesa. It is like dispelling the kilesa. When this effort becomes strong, we will be able to note the primary object and other objects that arise diligently. When this happens, kilesa cannot enter, because we are protected and our mind stays concentrated on an object. So, to be able to note properly, we must have this kind of two kinds of energy to the fullest. Then only we will be able to note the primary object diligently. In this case, the kilesa that was in the background will be no more. So in short, we must have two kinds of energy. The one we need before meditation, the one we need why do we start practicing meditation? Then only kilesa will not become strong. In other words, we can make the kilesa become weaker and weaker.